Welcome back to the Real Talk podcast. I'm your host, Niki Patton, and let's get into the chaos. Hey guys. Welcome back to this week's episode of the podcast, Real Talk Pod. And if you're new here, welcome. There have been so many new people in our fam lately, and I'm just like literally ecstatic, grateful, like everything in between, because this is literally my dream to have a community of you guys that not only I can talk to you guys, but like you guys talk to each other and like uplift each other. And like you guys are always talking in my comment sections, and it just lights my heart up, because this is all I wanted since I was younger, was to build a community online where like if you're a part of this fam, like you're a bestie boo, you have a bunch of other bestie boos just from being here, because we're all here to support each other, and that just makes me so happy. I also just realized I don't have rings on, and I don't know why, but that's gonna really bother me, but we're gonna keep rolling with it because I don't want to get up. Okay. Today we're going to talk about high school advice, and I'm really excited for today's episode because this is the first time in a while I'm gonna do a full on like one topic episode. Normally I've been doing a lot of girl talk questions where I'll like switch topics and we'll talk about a bunch of different things, but I feel like it's good to have a mix of both, because when I go really deep into a topic, I feel like that's when, you know, we get a lot of advice going, and I feel like also I could just get to dive deeper, and that's what this is all about. That's what makes this different than like my regular advice videos on the internet. So today we're going to be talking about high school advice. If you're going into high school, or if you're in high school or college even, this can kind of apply to college too. If you're in high school or college, this video is for you. I know that going into high school, going into college, you know, it's like kind of nervy. It makes you a little nervous, because anytime that you're entering this new environment, it's like you kind of evaluate like, who am I? What am I doing? What is my life purpose? It just gets really deep for no reason, and it's like kind of scary. Like I remember going to my high school orientation, and I was a freshman, and I like looked at the seniors like they were gods. I was like, what is this? How do I get there? How do I get to that level of cool? How do I, my little freshy self, look like that? And I would look at the seniors and be like, wow, they're so old and so grown and so full of themselves. Not full of themselves, but like sure of themselves. And I'm going to teach you how to have that aura, how to be cool in high school, how to get over things that all of us go through. And when you're in high school, by the way, you're going to feel like no one is going through the same things you are. And I have like so much advice on this, because at the end of the day, a lot of us are going through the same things. And I think that's something to be comforted by when you're going into a place like high school and you feel really alone. So let's just get into the advice. I have a list on my phone of things that I want to tell you guys, and I'm really excited about this, because honestly, like I just put together all the stuff that I wish somebody would have told me ahead of time. Okay, so let's just get into it. I'm really excited, and I don't want to delay it. Little life update. I say I don't want to delay it, and then I'm like, guys, okay, wait, me first. I'm good. Honestly, I'm kind of in a daze lately, and I've been getting like waves of anxiety, which is no bueno. But other than that, I'm learning to take things a little bit slower. Also just trusting my timing in life with everything going on. Like, you know, there's people my age that are doing very different life paths than me, and it's just like you need to learn to just trust your own process and trust the way things are going to unfold for you. And that's what I'm learning this week. Okay. Anyway, back to, also I have a Tate McRae obsession. Back to the high school advice. One thing that I really want to tell you guys, first of all, first topic I want to get into is kind of like family related. And I just think that this is probably a deeper topic to start on. But I think that in high school, a lot of people can go through very major family changes. Like this is a time where a lot of people hear that, you know, their parents are getting divorced, or I don't know. I went through something like that in high school in my sophomore year, and I just wanted to start with this because it's definitely one of the main things in high school that kind of like shaped me. And I just want to let you know that when things feel like they're crashing down, or like you are going through, really, this is such a dark topic to start on, but I just feel like high school is when you're no longer a kid, and things in your family might change, things in your life might start changing, and you're starting to go through actual very adult events. And I just want to let you know that like I'm here for you, but also like it's going to be okay. Like there are so many times in high school where you feel like everything is crashing down and your world's ending. And part of that is the hormones of being a teenager, but also just like you go through some pretty intense stuff. Like high school is the first time where you're starting to grow up, and you could be put in situations that are uncomfortable, or, you know, your family life changes, or I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I went through very formative experiences in high school. So I just wanted to let you guys know that you can always talk to me and DM me about whatever's going on. Also just like friendship changes. It's like your first time going through breakups. I just wanted to let you know from a big sister POV, as someone who's been through the whole thing, that it gets better and you'll be okay. I promise you. And that can be really hard when you feel like you're the only person going through that. So I just wanted to say that. Luckily in high school, I had a friend who was like, had a similar family situation. So it was really easy for me not to feel as alone, but I know not everyone has that experience. So I just want to let you guys know, and I'm sorry this is such a serious topic to start on, but I feel like this one really gets my heart. So if you're going through anything, just know that I'm here for you, and everything is going to work itself out. I promise. And don't be afraid to open up to people around you, like your friends. Okay. That's topic number 1. Sorry. I don't know why that wasn't even on my list to talk about, but I just felt like I wanted to say that. And if there's one thing you take away from this, just trust me that everything's going to be okay. Okay. All right. Moving on. Do not stress if you do not get your period. I posted on my story that I was filming a back to school advice video, and a lot of girls' responses were like, I haven't gotten my period yet. Like I'm 14, like blah, blah. Girl, you got time. I remember like stressing, and like it was kind of this race when you were younger. It was literally like a race to get your period. Like I remember like girls would like wait for them, and I was like so anxious, and I was like, when am I going to get my period? Like blah, blah. It was like a big deal. Like getting your period was like the thing. And just trust me, I think I got mine at like 13 or 14. Maybe I was 15. No, I was definitely 13 or 14. I think I was 14. So like girls get them when they're 10, girls get them when they're 16. Like don't worry about it as much. Just trust. Okay, it'll come. Plus, honestly, enjoy your life without it. Girl, it's not that fun. Okay? It's not that fun. Okay, that's the first thing I want to say. Next up, do not be mean to your teachers. It is like so normalized, and I feel like a lot of people are okay just being such a-holes to their teachers in high school, and it's like almost like just the normal thing to do. At least when I was in high school, like kids in my town were so mean, and they would just like give the teachers so much crap. And like in my eyes, I'm like, teachers do not get paid enough. Okay, they're like genuine. This is like, I'm talking in a broad concept. Sometimes teachers are very mean, but for the most part, like they are just like the best. And if you get a teacher that's passionate about teaching you, oh my gosh, do not take them for granted, because I remember the teachers from high school that like truly made an impact on me. And like they are some of my favorite people, because you think about it, like they're choosing to dedicate their life to like teaching people. And if you get a teacher that's like passionate, just be so grateful. Okay. And be so nice. And it's not lame to try and to want to be good at school. I loved school. I like literally was such a nerd. And at the time, like, you know, you have so many distractions on you. Like, oh, you should be more focused on getting invited to a party or finding new friends or finding someone to date. And like, honestly, none of that matters, especially if you're trying to go the college route. Like, focus on yourself, focus on your grades. And like, don't be mean to teachers, because also like having a teacher on your side is so clutch for so many reasons. Like sometimes they help you with your grades at the end of the semester. I don't know. I just feel like having a teacher in your corner is so good, especially someone that knows your character, because also you're going to need college recommendations if you're going to college. So that's another big thing. Next, you are guilty by association. Okay. You are guilty by association. be careful who you befriend, because when you're in high school, people don't really see you as like your own person. They like group you in with whoever you're friends with. And if you're friends with people who are doing bad things, but you're like, oh, like I'm not one of them, like I'm different, I'm friends with them, but I don't do that stuff, like nobody cares. You will still get in trouble for being friends with those people. So I know it sucks, but like just don't, and avoid like anyone with signs of drama, people that are doing things that they shouldn't be doing. Like honestly, just keep your path as clean as possible. And I know like sometimes people that are doing like bad things are cool or they're nice or whatever, like don't befriend them. Like they can be nice, they don't have to be your friend. You should be very picky with the energy you surround yourself with, and don't do anything or be friends with anyone who could potentially hurt your reputation. You know, like just don't look for trouble is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Also, this is also something I want to say. You are the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. That is like a very famous quote, and it's very true. Be careful with who you are surrounding yourself with. I mean, if you surround yourself with people who think it's cool to not try at school, and people who want to party all the time, and people who want to find boyfriends and blah, blah, and that's all they're focused on is like finding someone to date, like who don't have goals, like you become the people you surround yourself with without even noticing it. Okay. So you want to find people who are driven, who like genuinely have goals and are working towards something and have good personalities and are kind. Kind is huge. So yeah, I feel like you should treat your friends like dating. Like you have to pick good, genuine people, okay, to be friends with. Like, do not be friends with people just because they're more popular. Do not be friends with people just because they like are interesting and they bring tea and they have gossip and drama, and like people like that are fun to an extent, but then you're like, oh, you're also talking crap about me. Like people like that, if they're coming to you with like all this drama and they have problems with everybody and like they're like your best friend and they blah, 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 they will probably get into a giant blowout fight with you at some point, because people that attract drama just like are the drama. Okay, like it's so easy to stay out of things. So just be careful with who you surround yourself with. Next, spend time alone. This is really important in high school, because I didn't do this till college, and it was very big in like becoming who I am. If you don't spend time alone, if you're constantly trying to fill up your weekends with plans, if you're constantly trying to find friends to hang out with, if you are just scared of spending time alone because you think it makes you look lame or like lonely or like a loser, spending time alone is one of the most powerful things you can do. And I used to be like one of those people that was like, I don't want to have a weekend where I'm not doing anything. And I would always make plans, even if I knew the people weren't even that good for me. I just wanted to be out of my house, and I wanted to be doing things and like having plots in my life, and like that's fine, but balance it with spending time alone and change your mindset on spending time alone, because the quicker you realize that spending time alone is powerful, it makes you more confident. Spending time alone and learning to do things by yourself without having like people to crutch on is so important, because then you develop a stronger sense of who you are. You're like, oh, because you can't like everything. And that's a giant thing about high school, is like I was a people pleaser and I wanted to do whatever everyone else wanted to do, and I didn't want to cause drama, and I thought it was easier and like less conflict if I just never put my opinion in and I let people kind of walk all over me. Don't do that, okay? Have opinions. Know who you are. Know what you stand for and what you like and what you don't like, so that's what's going to make you come off as a very confident person. People that are sure of themselves don't try to please everybody. So if you want to be confident in high school and you want people to respect you, like spend time alone, know what you like and don't like, and don't try to be friends with everybody. That is like so key. And I feel like I wasn't as confident in high school because I always felt like I had to be doing stuff with somebody else with me. And you don't. Like, just, it's a little uncomfortable at first to be alone, but then you get used to it. And I didn't do this till college. Obviously, college, you have more free time. And I started to love doing things alone, like going to the library alone, like doing whatever. So if you start that early in high school, you're going to be so much more confident and self-sufficient. And that's really important. Popularity doesn't mean crap. Okay. I'm so sick of people like trying to social climb. It's not a good look. If you're a social climber, like number one, it's so obvious. Like it's so obvious and people can tell your vibe, and genuine good people that you would want to be your friends, they're not going to want to be friends with you if you're trying to like social climb and you're trying to like see how popular people are before you become friends with them. It's not a good look. And I think that it is way better to be friends with people who are genuinely kind, no matter what the popularity level is. Because honestly, popularity doesn't mean anything once you graduate. Like it feels like it means everything. And that's why I'm stressing this so much. Because when you're in high school, like you just want to be one of the cool kids. Like you just want to get invited to everything. You just want to, like, I don't know. But it's just so dumb because the people that peak in high school are the ones that never really do anything else. Like they always end up hanging out with the same people from high school. They're always talking about the good old days. You don't want to be one of those people. I actually knew in high school that I was not peaking. I was like, I am not peaking and this is not going to be my peak. My peak is going to be later in life when I'm successful at doing what I'm passionate about, which is so weird because when I was 13, I was making little iMovie videos on the weekends on my camera. And now I'm sitting in my apartment in Los Angeles that I do content creation full time in. So, gosh, that was kind of a moment. Oh gosh, I just had a moment. Wow. I love you guys for watching. Anyway, just what was I talking about? Popularity doesn't mean anything. I was so uncool in high school. I was probably really uncool in college too. I was kind of like a hermit. And I was focused though. I did things that I was passionate about. I made videos from when I was 14 till now, and it really does pay off to be passionate about something and work on something and work on yourself. And yeah, that's just huge. I think that's a big thing that I would definitely recommend you guys do. Okay, but popular is kind of dumb. I won't lie. Okay, do not change your personality for other people. This is kind of the same thing. When you're around popular people, it's like your natural instinct to like match their energy. And that's exactly how you're going to lose who you are, okay? Know who you are and don't act different depending on the crowd you're with. I used to be like a little chameleon and I would try to act different depending on who I was hanging out with. It's stupid because then you don't really know who you are and you're kind of just insecure. That is a sign of insecurity if you have to keep changing who you are around other people. It's a sign of thinking you're not good enough as you are. So let's unpack that. You change yourself because you think you're not good enough. If you thought you were good enough, you wouldn't change your personality for everyone around you. So yeah, I'm going to leave that there for you to think about. Make friends in every class. Oh, this saved me so many times, especially with forgetting homework. Like as long as you have one, not even friends, as long as you have one acquaintance in every class that you have their phone number. So you can be like, oh, I got you. Like if you forget the homework, blah, blah, blah. Like you need to have an ally because I don't know. Especially in college. This is something that's like huge for college. I would always make sure that I knew someone in every class because then you don't forget the homework as much. And that's kind of my biggest tip. Okay, here's another one. The reason why I was so ashamed of making videos and I was so insecure and I didn't want people to know what I did in high school is because I was scared of being judged. So even when I made videos in high school, I would never promote them. I like put them on YouTube, but I would never tell people from school that I made videos. And if someone found them, I was so scared. I was like, please don't tell people. I was mortified. And you shouldn't be. Because guess what? If you try to do anything outside the norm, and I mean anything, people will judge you and people will have something to say about it. But the people that push past that and do it regardless, like, okay, screw you. I want to do this anyway. And so I'm going to do this anyway. Those are the people that like genuinely make it in life because people are literally going to judge you no matter what. If you spend your whole life being scared of judgment, you're never going to amount to anything. When I started TikTok, for example, it was 2019 and I was a sophomore in college and I started making videos and people would find them on my campus because they would start to get views. And when people started finding them on my campus, I got so many reactions from people and so many judgments from people. People are like, oh, you make TikToks. Oh, she's the TikToker. My ex, even, I was walking out of a frat party once and he was like, go make your TikToks about me. And I was like, girl, they're not about you. But anyway, everyone's gonna have something to say. But at the end of the day, everyone is so focused on themselves. They don't truly have time to think about what that means. Like, they're not thinking about judging you all the time. They're not like, oh my gosh, she's so lame, blah, blah. They're gonna think about it for maybe 2 seconds and then move on with their life. And yeah, you might get made fun of behind your back, or people might talk about you. Okay. Do you know what that is when people talk about you behind your back? That is people not liking themselves. So they have to entertain themselves because there's nothing else going on in their life. And that's what it is when people talk about you behind your back. That is them having nothing better to do than to talk about something that you're genuinely trying at and passionate about. So that's actually kind of lame if you think about it. So don't be afraid to try at things and be judged. It doesn't matter. That was some good advice. What else? Parties are not as cool as you think they are. Period. High school parties, like, yeah, people are like doing whatever, socializing, drinking, whatever, dating, like whatever they do at parties. Okay, I don't know. It's not that fun. It's not productive. Like, you're not gonna like leave those parties with like amazing stories. Like, don't worry about not getting invited to parties and stuff, because most of the time, like, that is just not it, bro. It is so much more fun to have like quality friends that you spend time with and you make memories with than going to a random party where you're having a bunch of meaningless interactions with people who are probably not sober, and like, that's not as fun. Plus, you're not going to remember those memories. Like, it's not something that you need to like strive for. Like, it should not be your weekend goal every weekend to try to find a party. That's all I'm saying. Because like, I went to parties every once in a while in high school, but when I did, they were like people that I was genuinely friends with. So don't just try to go to parties just to go to parties. They're not that cool. And just because people go to parties doesn't mean they're cool. Period. If you decide to date, oh my gosh, I didn't even talk about dating yet. If you decide to date, be extremely picky, like so freaking picky with who you date, because oh my gosh, it is kind of pointless to date in high school. Obviously, there's such thing as high school sweethearts. When I was in high school, I like wanted a high school sweetheart so bad. I like wanted that. I wanted to find my husband in high school. But the odds that you are going to find someone that you are genuinely compatible with to the point to marry them or date them long term in your hometown is very low. Like, you guys all grow up in a bubble. You all grow up with the same upbringing, and like, that is a very small community. I think my high school is like 2,000 kids. My college was 50,000. So like, you're not going to find the love of your life probably if you think about those statistics, and that's okay. So if you're going to date, make sure that person is bettering you in some sort of way. Make sure you guys push each other. It's like actually some sort of healthy relationship and dynamic. If it's just like, oh, we want to date because we're bored and I want to hang out with him. Like, I just wish that I was more picky with my time and who I spent my time with, because I focus so much on boys and like crushes and stuff that I just wish that I didn't, because none of that like lasts. Like, my friends from high school I still have and I still talk to, but guys, let me even think. Do I talk to anyone from high school that I dated? No. Literally no. So that is your sign to focus more on friendships. Like, high school dating is just, yes, it is possible, but is it worth it? I don't think so anymore. And that's just my advice from someone who went through it. And I was so boy crazy. Okay, I was so boy crazy in high school. I used to have like 5 crushes at once. And my whole goal was like, how do I get them to like me? And I would like stare at my crushes in class and get distracted. But that's the Libra in me. Now that I'm older and more mature, I have realized none of that matters. And those guys are so clueless. High school boys are so immature. Like, do not spend your time wondering what they think about you. They're probably not thinking. So that's my advice on that. Okay. And listen to your parents. I think that I was so much more, I used to think that my parents didn't know anything in high school. I mean, I knew that they knew stuff, but I just didn't want to listen. You know what I mean? And most of the time looking back, like my mom was strict with me in high school and like who I'd hang out with and stuff like that. And now I'm so grateful because your parents can read people so much better for the most part. Your parents can read people so much better than you can and so much faster than you can because they've been through life. So honestly, listen to your parents and, you know, just, I feel like it's a common emotion to be like, they don't know anything. They probably do. And they're probably looking out for you. And yeah, I'm actually happy that my mom was strict with me because it kept me out of like situations that probably wouldn't have been the best. And at the time, it's like annoying because you have to tell everyone like, oh, my parents are strict. I can't do this. I can't hang out 2 days in a row. I can't do this and that. But honestly, like it keeps you growing up in a very healthy way because having those rules in place is like honestly very key to being normal and not getting into bad situations and not hanging out with the wrong groups. And like, you know, honestly, like I wasn't even allowed to date in high school. So yeah, I did that secretly, but honestly, like listen to your parents because like do I talk to any of the guys from high school? No, you know? So I don't know. I just think that they know a lot better than you think they do at that age. So yeah, for the most part. There's exceptions, obviously. And that kind of wraps my high school advice that I have for you guys this week. Let me know if you guys found this helpful. I also have like a lot of back to college, back to high school essentials in my Amazon linked. So that's really helpful if you guys want to take a look at that. I will link it down below. And thank you guys so much for listening and watching, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, whatever you're listening to this on. I love you guys so much. And like genuinely, you guys have changed my life. So I will tell you that all the time. I'm so grateful. We literally just hit 530,000 followers on Instagram the other day. And I just hit 500K like right before that. So it's insane. I love you guys. Like our fam is growing. Bestie boos to the moon. I don't know. I'm like really grateful. But make sure you follow the Instagram. And follow the podcast Instagram. It's Real Talk Podcast with 4 T's. I know that's annoying, but every other username was taken. Follow the podcast Instagram, my Instagram, Niki_Patton, my TikTok, Snapchat is all Niki_Patton. And make sure to follow and rate the podcast if you haven't already. That tells me a lot of what you think about me. So please leave a rating. And it's just good to know that there's people out there that actually listen to the end of my pods. So yeah, leave a comment telling me what you guys want to see next. I can do like a Q&A for high school. Let me know. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next one. Mwah. I love you guys.